Hey there, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing Brooklyn Bustle from Other Half Brewing Company, and this comes from my old stomping grounds, Brooklyn, New York. Thanks for joining us. Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give your unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we're drinking and reviewing. We are back to do that once again. Andy's got the giggles. Jay is here with us. I am Ben. Gentlemen, what are we drinking tonight?
We're going to our good friends at Other Half. This is out of their Brooklyn brewery, and it's called Brooklyn Bustle from the Green City 2024 Festival.
All right.
So I'm thirsty and I want to drink it.
There's the bridge.
Yep. Used to live in downtown Brooklyn, so well before Other Half was there, unfortunately. But
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. You don't drink IPAs anyway.
well, they have other things there that I could drink, Jay.
Yeah, they do have some great sours.
Yeah.
Well, back then they didn't have, Bud Lights at their brewery.
With friends like these guys.
Get a nose of that.
Yummy. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Ooh.
What? This is an easy one. What are you wooing about?
I'm wooing. It's almost like they mixed in one of those sours a little bit with this one.
You acted like it was full of IBUs.
It's almost a little tart.
A little tropical, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Brooklyn Bustle. It is a TIPA. It's the triple IBA. We're going for the trifecta. 10%. Woo woo. Uses Amarilla, Citra Incognito, Nectaron, and Kahatu hops. They say that it produces notes of peach, complex citrus with grapefruit, orange, and soft stone fruit. Waft.
I think for Christmas or birthdays, I need to get y'all soft stone fruit, honey, and
Soft stone fruit of the month club.
Yeah, a couple other things, but yes, because we always argue what does stone fruit really taste like?
Yeah.
Oh wow, we got some chunkage. Loving to see it. So this is Another Half Brewing out of this one specifically brewed in Brooklyn. It was formed in 2014, but they also have sites elsewhere in New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, the Finger Lakes region, Buffalo, Tatanka.
What?
Tatanka, New York.
What? What are you doing?
Tatanka? You don't know that pop culture reference?
No.
What? You've never seen Dances with Wolves?
I mean, gosh, when I was like 14. When did it come out? Like 94?
We were 14. It came out prior to us being 14. No, it's
okay.
Other than that. But
whatever.
Wait, how is your math doing, Ben? You were 14 prior to. Anyway.
I mean, it's well documented on this show that my math is not the greatest. So
yeah, it sucks. It really
it's
is.
not what I'm known for. Math is not it.
Tatanka. That means that's what they called buffalo. Technically, it's bison, but anyway.
Wow. Okay. We can just wipe out the last 2 minutes of the show.
This is internet magic. We're riffing.
So what else about this beer, Andy?
Nothing. There's not. It can't be as interesting as this conversation. So let's just wipe it off. Actually, Jay, I want you to talk about the Green City Festival.
Yeah, okay. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know they have their festival. It was mid to late June. I think this year it was probably around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. They did have a series of beers that they produced that look very similar to these type cans. You know, their big logo and theme is always broccoli, right? So these are all little broccoli squares or what are broccoli things called? I don't eat them.
Florets.
So
Florets.
yeah, florets. Yeah, and then as Andy alluded to, it has all sorts of buildings from New York. They had another version or another variant that they had released. It was Manhattan Mayhem. They had like a Luscious Lakes one that was for the Finger Lakes, I believe, and had pictures of that. But they had, I think it was 7 or 8 total unique beers that they made for the festival. And it just so happened that I was in the DC brewery the Thursday of the festival, and they had just released them all. So I grabbed, I don't know, 2 or 3 different 4-packs, but this is the one that we decided to review. So I've had this before, Ben. So
I figured you had. I mean, you're not very good at abstaining for the show's purposes, so I figured you'd had it.
so yeah, I'd love to learn more about the festival, hear more about it. If there are folks that attended, please comment about it. But it looked very intriguing and to be a pretty big deal. They had flyers all around the brewery when I was in there that Thursday afternoon. So,
all right, good deal. I'm going to turn it back over to Andy. Andy, what do you think on this one?
I think by the rules of our show that you have to go first, Ben.
You've had this one.
Jay was generous.
Wow. You think you know somebody?
Actually, I'm lying, Ben. I haven't had it. I was actually going to let you do it and make you think, but I was like,
yeah, you got to think about that, Ben. I mean, the math again. I bought a 4-pack. There's 3 of us. I've had it before.
His math is not good.
I mean, okay. I tend to trust my friends or people that I thought were friends. So, from that standpoint, I would have no reason to think that he's lying to me. I've known Andy for quite some time, and I've never known him to lie to me. I mean, I guess maybe he has. Maybe he's been lying. What's your real name? I mean,
you look good today, Ben.
We know that's a wig, right? So that's a lie we all accept, right? But what do you think of the beer?
I'm only lying to myself. I think this is a wonderful beer. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And with everything that's in it, it is a little complex at that. Definitely got a little sweet. Being 10%, you're going to expect that. But you get the tropical and citrus notes, but it is not like over the top like some of the tropical, like hazy IPAs that we've had. It does. I'm wondering if it's the peach flavor and that helps to hold it back so it's not too citrus, because they mentioned, the complex citrus with grapefruit and orange. So those stone fruits and the citrus kind of balance each other out. I'm on the fence. Give me another swaller.
I like that glass, by the way. It's a cool glass.
Cheers, man. 8.5. Boom. That said it.
All right. I, as the lone Brooklynite here on the show, will go, or former Brooklynite, I should say.
You wish you could have gone last.
I was going to use that to go
'Cause
last.
I lived in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Exactly. I did live in Brooklyn, Borough Hall area. So yeah. I think this one is super interesting because, as I alluded to when the first couple of sips, I mean, this has just almost some small qualities of a sour in the sense that it kind of punches you in the face. And I like a sour to punch me in the face. I don't usually like an IPA to do that because that usually means it's a little too bitter for my taste. But this one does it in a good way. I think, I mean, it almost gets you in the back, in the jowls there, as Andy always says. And it's really, really interesting from an IPA standpoint. For one thing, at 10%, like I don't taste 10% in this at all. So this one could be very dangerous at that ABV level. I mean, it's to me, it's the tropical. I mean, it's full force tropical, even maybe a little bit of grapefruit peel on the back end to make it just a little bit bitter, but not enough bitter that it's something somebody like me would not like. So if you're somebody that doesn't like bitter in your beer, don't shy away from this one because it is just a touch, and I think it holds the beer together nicely. Um, this one's a lot of fun, just because of everything you get out of it. 8.5 for me as well. The fact that it's 10% is you don't taste the alcohol. The fact that it punches you in the face in a good way from a lot of that tropical, and it's just really fun. It's a fun beer. 8.5.
All right.
And it's got Brooklyn in the name. Let me throw that last part in there.
Oh no, I agree with you, Ben. This is a fun and a great beer. I don't get as much of the sour aspect, although I can see and understand why you would say some of that.
I'm not
It
saying
does
it's sour. I'm just saying
yeah,
it has that punch.
the
That's all.
punch. Yeah, it
Yep.
gets you. This one is
Distant
very
punches.
well. I would like to say the word complex and balanced at the same time. It to me it's not thin, but it's not too thick. It's a right balance there. Uh, you hit the nail on the head with um, the citrus, the grapefruit peel, just a little bit on the backside, but it's not overpowering. There is no bitter to me on this. It's not thick enough or anywhere where it's going to be creamy, but it's one that I definitely really like, and I was glad I picked up and got to share with you guys. The 10%, I agree. This is a dangerous beer. You can sit here and have 2 or 3 of these and not realize it's 10%, um, but it's really good. It's an 8.5 for me as well.
10%. Might lose my pants before the end of the review.
I think about halfway through that second one, you probably realize it's 10%.
Where'd my pants go? This is 10%. Oh,
Just don't stand up heavy.
Yeah, you buy a 4-pack of this and you drink all 4 in one night, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that they would make more of these, but I understand they're small batch for festivals and things like that.
Well, it's awesome when you can grab them and share them with us because there's no way that other way Andy or I would have had this. So,
Right.
hats off to you, Jay. Thanks for sharing.
Just glad we could share one.
Cue the fireworks. That is going to be an 8.5 for the Brooklyn Bustle from Other Half Brewing Company. This one comes from Brooklyn, New York. Wall of Fame beer for Hopped Up Beer Review. And if you can get a hold of this, you need to grab it and go try it. Andy's going to print out the certificate, send it to Other Half. They're going to display it somewhere extremely prominent, I'm sure. So other
They
half.
put in parentheses and says it made us go as it shot across the sky.
No more Katy Perry references.
Katy Perry, Ben, come on, Katy Perry, fireworks.
I mean, Katy Perry
You
fireworks. I mean,
are
what
the
are we doing?
worst pop culture reference guy I know.
So
I
anyway,
got it. I mean, come on.
Jay gets it. Jay got 2 for 2, Ben. You're
is
over.
that supposed to make me feel bad that Jay got it and I didn't?
It should. It really should. Because how many Seinfeld references do we spat out? Jay's like,
And my pop culture is a very narrow gate here. All right. Anyway, definitely appreciate you guys sticking with us this long. If you're still watching this video, I doubt very few of you are, but thanks for hanging out. Go ahead and like that video. I don't know why you would, but go ahead and do that and share and subscribe if you've not done that before.
how many thumbs down can we get on a
Yes.
single video?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to find out. That would be the best for the show. So I hesitate to even mention that, but thanks for bringing it up, Andy. But anyway, moving on. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. We would again definitely appreciate it if you've made it this far. Check us out on all social media links down below in the description. Come say hi in our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. We laugh a lot in there too because we just have fun doing this stuff for some weird reason. If you're weird like us, then come join us. If you're interested in Hopped Up Beer Review merch, we got a link down below for that. Jay is showing off some of that stuff, and go grab it while it is there. And if you're interested in any of the glassware that we purchased for the show, we have some links for that. Also, we have some links for the equipment that we use for this show that we have purchased. So if you are interested in any of those, we've got some of that down below. I know a couple of guys who could really benefit from something that we have in the link down below. So there's a link.
What's wrong with this?
Yeah. With that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Appreciate you guys hanging out this long. Cheers, mates.
This was a
Cheers,
quality
mates.
show. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers.